Hello, hello. Like, is this thing on? Is this thing on? Yes. Welcome to today, where the wind blows. Okay. Let's tune in. Beautiful. Yes. I hope you are doing amazing. Guided by your heart flame. Let's see what Spirit has for us today, right? We go in every day open for what come what may. Okay. 4 cards. Ah, ah, ah. Okay. You ready? Okay. Okay. Doubt, let it all out. These are the things we can do without. Come on. I'm talking to you, right? Gotta let those doubts go. Doubting what you see with your eyes. We've got reflectiveness. Okay, a 23, 223 here so far. Dragons. Reflecting upon those limiting doubts and fears, right? And recognizing that they're not serving. So we release them. Okay, your awareness. Look at this freaking card. Your awareness of your doubts and your fears and your limiting beliefs, right? It starts with reflectiveness. This is the process. You have doubts, you reflect, you become aware, and then you release it. And then we've got new ideas. And then you get new ideas about all of the things, right? Yes. There we go. Pegasi certainly comes out sometimes for us, doesn't it? This balance between your eagle eye, big picture, and your on the ground action that you take, right? Balance is what the Pegasi is doing. Balancing. Okay. And look at this wind out here. Look at how windy. The dragons fly. Okay. So we got those. We got those to start. 22, 23, 19, and an 8. Oh, did we do 22, 23 yet? It's what you do. You reflect when you doubt. It's the next step. Why am I doubting? Where's this doubt coming from? How is this doubt serving me? How is it holding me back, right? And then, aha, awareness. I know why. Because I is scared. Because my ego is trying to soften an anticipatory blow. We don't want to anticipate blows. We want to anticipate success, right? So now I need to come at it from another direction, come at it from another angle. The new ideas, right? Intentional. Okay. And the Acturians, what do you have to add? They're still getting themselves organized. Are ya? Are you there yet? That's too many. Might have been 4, actually. Okay. Who's coming? Thank y'all. Okay. Duality. So this is the reminder, the awareness of the mindfulness of duality, right? Of light and shadow, of masculine and feminine energies, of being and doing, of action and rest. Duality, right? Okay, let's look it up in the book. Is it duality? Before I go off on it. I just saw ya. The energy of duality helps you make peace with your inner duality, okay? And this is how you're making peace. When the shadows come up, like doubts and fears, because they are like quality control as well, right? To make sure that you are sure. They're the contrast that you hold your intention beside to define and redefine, right? It's the shadow void that the light exists within. Something like that. Okay, so this process of recognizing when doubts and fears pop up, reflecting upon it, becoming aware of it, and then changing your thought, right? This is how we utilize. Oh, look at that. That's the work. The doubts and the fears, right? The adversaries, the devils, the things that come up against us, the things that we have to overcome. Reflect, become aware, make a different choice, right? That's the work. This continual upkeep of your thoughts, of your trajectory. We're not being swayed away from where we want to get to because our brain, our egos are trying to, they're anticipating, they're slowly influencing, right? The doubts start to influence the trajectory, and then we start to compensate, right? well, maybe if I want to go here, but maybe if we just go over here, then it won't be so, obtrusive or blatant or showy or whatever reasoning our brain gives for us to pull back a bit, for us to lessen, for us to soften, right? It's not about being hard, but it's about being intentional and recognizing your capacity to realize your potentials without having to dilute. Okay. That must be the one to start with. What is this one? Yes. Oh, yeah. It's the King of Wands. Okay. Making himself known. This is the visionary. This is the get it done guy. This is the passionate forward movement 11:11 on the clock. It's the masculine and the masculine and the feminine, the balance, right? There's your duality, the angel and the devil. This is your compass and keeping your eye on the prize. So the King of Wands, absolutely, anytime adversary, doubt, fear, whatever rears its head, reflecting, awareness, new. That's right. Just like when you're at the helm and you're steering your ship, right? And then you get distracted and you start to veer. And the minute that you reflect, you look at your compass and you notice that you're off course, you become aware that you're off course, and then you do what's necessary to recorrect, right? Yes. Okay. Okay, knight. Okay, knight. Oh no, king. Not a knight. A king. With some wounds from the past. Okay. Those deep emotional wounds from the past is part of the motivating features of your movement, right? It doesn't take long sitting. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does take long sitting in pain to want to do something different, right? Want to try something different, want to become open to alternative ways of dealing, processing, aiding. It also helped to define the heart space, to ensure that its worth becomes known, right? We go through life, we don't know our worth, we throw our heart around, we give it away, it gets stomped on, it gets dropped, it gets mishandled, it gets stabbed, right, in the back, it gets left on the curb, it gets all the things, and eventually all of these things force us to start to protect it. And there are a myriad of ways that we can, what that inspires, right? Some people push everything away, they go hide away, and you never see from them again. And others are like, okay, what do I do, right? I got to protect my heart, but I also want to engage in life. I want to feel love, be in love, have love on all of the levels, right? So it's all contributing factors to your self-mastery. This contrast is important. You have to be able to know, and a lot of the times this is how we start to define what it is that we want based on all of the experiences that were examples of things that we don't want, right? Yes, duality. Okay. Oh, we didn't get a rune. I'm noticing because there's no card there. Let's see what the runes want to say. Let's just get to the cards day. I'm also getting this compass, right? Your ability to read the compass because of the lenses and perspectives that you gained through your heartaches, right? Through your betrayals, through your heart abuse. This morning I was listening to my heartbeat. I woke up in the middle of the night to my neighbor sneezing or something like that. And so and then it must have been dawn because the birds were starting. So I put in my earplugs, went back to sleep. But when I rolled over, when I woke up, I could really hear my heartbeat, and it's just like, right? It's so cool that the heartbeat is one of the first things that starts on the body. And also your mother's heartbeat is the first sound you hear with your own ears, which is kind of cool. Okay, beautiful. Jetta. With the bee. Okay, this is your hard work paying off. And you're paying off because you're getting where you wanted to go, right? You're recognizing when you're veering off course and you are course correcting. That's what this is about, right? And your grace, right? You're not beating yourself up. You're not causing a scene. You're not stopping the boat and, doing a full CSI scene thing. You're just, off course, make the necessary adjustments and keep on going. This is your dedication. This is your focus, right? Gonna get there. Gonna get there. And the sweetest honey harvest is there. Okay, the bee speaks about the work, the diligence, and the reward. After much diligence, the honey bee finally reaps the sweetest harvest. There you go. They are connected and attuned to the slow, ever-moving cycles of nature and time. The bee needs to move through many steps and stages before their efforts in the wildflower fields bring the joyful harvest of honey. Keywords: fruition, balance, abundance, cycles and rhythms, and harmony. Jera indicates a total and happy completion with the promise that your reward is coming. Otse? Yes, Jera. Because you are keeping you've got a good system going, right? It's like your washing station. Your doubts and your fears, it's mud that you get on you. You first reflect. Oh, maybe it's you become aware of it, then you reflect upon it. Aha, Because in that case, right, you're like, what's this? What's this on me? Right? Oh, I got mud on me. That's your awareness. I've got a thing that is not ideal. I'm heading in a way that I don't want to go, right? And then reflecting, how did I get there? What did I do? Where did it come from? Right? And then, okay, well, let's clean it up and pick ourselves up and get going again, right? Okay. And a beautiful way to transform or alchemize doubt into new ideas, right? Into creative exploration. Okay, we've got the faith in the things happening behind the scenes, seeds that you have planted that are growing, that are sparking, and this being held, being guided, being amplified by the divine, by spirit, by the unseen realms, right? By the fertile environment that your seeds are germinating within. The eyes are closed. This is the faith. This is the trust. This is the believing in what you can't see, right? See this figure in the doubt card, surrounded by gorgeousness, light beams through the trees, fields of blooms, butterflies, gorgeous mane of golden wheat hair, peacock feathers. And she's like, looking around like, she is not seeing, and her eyes are open. So it's like something about more than what your eyes are seeing. That's where I was going there. And how we can blind ourselves when we're fixed on what we're not seeing. It holds us from being able to see what is, right? Like she's like, I came to see a unicorn. I don't see a unicorn. Meanwhile, the environment is like magic. And instead of being like, oh, it's magical, it's like, there's no unicorn here. This is lame. This is lame, right? Okay, 7 of Cups and the Queen of Swords. That's your discernment. Yes. The 7 of Cups is your overflow, overflowing into multiple avenues, okay? This could be your cup overflowing into the people around you. This could be your cup overflowing into various aspects of your life. But something lucky coming in, seemingly lucky, right? Because we are shifting, we're changing, we're actively propelling ourselves towards love, peace, joy, and blessings. And so blessings happen. That blessings happen. And they feel like lucky breaks, right? They start off with getting that parking spot becoming clear right in front of the place you're going to right as you pull up, or walking up to a door and someone's open it on the other side just as you're about to walk through, or somebody in the grocery line is like, oh, you just have a couple things, go on ahead of me, right? And this all of a sudden the world becomes cooperative components to your flow, right? And it's a beautiful thing, but you need to be able to discern what is going to help you flow and what is not going to. I'm getting like you're sailing, right? Going to this nautical helm steering destination holding trajectory, right? You have to be able to discern which way the wind is blowing and what you need to do to adjust your sails to catch that wind to keep you heading in the direction that you want to go. There you go. Okay. And to be able to cut your weights, right? Sometimes the wind is too wild and crazy and all over the place. And so the best course of action is to cut the sails, not cut them, but like put them down and just let the wind do its thing for a second. So it's not blowing you all over the place, right? And then, okay, let's go again. This is part of your tending to your overflow. This is part of your liquid sunshine, the fuel that moves your vessel. I know the wind was just moving your vessel. There's, it's a cornucopia of analogies and metaphors. Okay. But that's beautiful because we're just talking about your overflow having an effect, right? So this could be your higher self, your spirit, the work that you've done on your self-maintenance, right? Your ability and capacity to become aware, to reflect, and to make different choices. And this spilling into the material realm and all who interact and engage with you. Because our energy affects, our presence affects, our resonance affects. What's this? Your ships coming in are protected, okay? Greatly, divinely. You got the sentinel here, my energetic bouncer who holds the line, who ensures that no disruptive elements come into the party, right? Now we're at a party. Keep up, right? Okay. With the ships coming in here and you're waiting for them, you can see them, it's happening, and you are divinely protected. Okay, so I'm getting this protection as the things are growing. This is like your fence around your garden with your plants starting to bloom and blossom. I guess it would be blossom and bloom. I don't know. Blossom, bud. Bud, blossom, bloom. But the bloom is the blossom. Okay. Okay, anybody else wanna come out and play? This is it. One more card. What you got? Transitioning in between, balancing two aspects, two worlds combining, coming together. There's lots going on in this one, but it is a pentacles, right? So this is material world rearranging elements, components, getting into balance. Because we're talking about duality, this is like your balancing of your light and your shadow, your masculine, your feminine, your when to be and when to do, right? And yes, and yes, to move you forward. Okay, let's get an archetype. Let's get an archetype in here. Okay, that was quick. What's this one? It's 18. The Siren, the Temptress, the Seducer, the Femme Fatale. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The siren calls and the world spins. What we thought we wanted pales in comparison to the sweet allure of her song. We find ourselves lost in a spell of desire and longing, perhaps even lust. Whether the thing calling to us is ultimately good or bad is somewhat irrelevant. It's the journey that matters. And the work of the siren is to take us on a deep psychic descent. Following her song, we go down, down, down to a place where lessons are learned and courage must be rallied to find our way back to dry land. Try as we might, resisting the call may not even be an option, unless, like Odysseus, we bind our hands to the mast of our ship. It's likely, though, that falling for her call is the only way we will come to live more fully on the surface. Whoa. Okay, this is that descent into the underworld, the underground, right? This is the integration of shadow and how necessary it is to have endured the hurts, the pains, the traumas, the doubts, the fears, right? As a direct contrast to define what it is that we want. This is what it's saying here, that it's the only way to come to live more fully on the surface. It's like without, through the contrast, you learn gratitude and appreciation and not taking things for granted, right? If you always had things at your fingertips, you don't know what it's like to not. And so you're not as mindful, aware, reflective, right? Okay. And there's a gem that you mine from the experience, right? Your takeaway from the depths. Okay, when light awakened sensuality, absorption, and arousal. When dark wickedness, adultery, wreckage, betrayal, and insatiability. Wreckage, because we're using the ship. We went the wrong way. Rocks, right? Okay. Other iterations of the siren archetype include the nymph, the mermaid, and the fairy. They often come in sets of 3 as a trinity of temptation. Ooh. Embodying the siren archetype requires that we explore things that are taboo. The siren laughs at conventions and constraints. She eats rules. Part of the descent, part of the awareness and reflection of the dark, right? the shadow aspects is you have to experience it. You have to go there, right? You have to feel the loss, the pain, the wounds, the doubts and the fears. You have to be consumed by the darkness in order to find the light, right? To see it, to move towards it, and to tend it to reveal, to revelation, right? To be able to see clearly. And now you have both. Now you are whole. You are complete. You have the heavens and the hells at in your arsenal, in your tool belt, right? Because the shadow version, the one able to protect, to cut away, to hold firm boundaries, to defend, their shadowy aspects. This is why we need to tame, right? It's like the dragon guarding the treasure. You need to remind it that it is a reflection of you. Otherwise, it will keep attacking all, including you, who try to get close, right? It runs rampant. It goes overprotective. This is part of that remembering self. Through the exchange, you discover that not only did you put that dragon there to protect the core, but it is also you, right? It's also a version of you. Okay. Let's get a fairy card. See how we're talking about the fairies. I don't have a mermaid card. But maybe the mermaid charm will come out. Excuse me. Okay, we'll just take that one that came. What's this one? Who's coming out to talk to us? It's the spirit dancer. Beautiful. Beautiful. Spirit dancer. Self-expression, freedom, and exploration. Now is the time to focus and really concentrate on a project or process. Yes. Especially one involving the creative arts. Oh yeah. Spontaneity balanced by self-discipline will help us achieve our goals. Excellent. Strive for elegance and simplicity. This is a time to bring out and share qualities that we have nurtured in private. Now is the time to shine. Get your creative juices flowing. Allow yourself to flow connected and creatively, and witness what you're capable of. And witness what you're capable of. Okay, let's get a couple of these cards. Also, doubt is an indicator, right? that you need to revisit. You need to come up with a new idea, right? If you're like, is this gonna work versus this is totally gonna work, right? Something about if it's not a hell yes, then it's a hell no, right? And doubt is uncertainty, and that doesn't sound like a hell yes to me, right? This is part of the utilizing of your shadow versions, your recognition. It becomes a tool and not a hindrance, right? Just like the dragon, once it is integrated, it is no longer burning villages down when you lose your temper, right? It is now serving you. It is now, how you're getting around in the astral realm. And it is now a tool that helps you to veer, right? It becomes an indicator light on your dashboard that warns you when you're veering off course. And then you're like, oh, thank you. Correct, right? This is where we hold and utilize the gratitude. Okay. We'll just do that. We'll just let them all fly. Okay, speaking of gratitude. Yeah. And your action, right? Beautiful confirmation. We got wisdom. We got metamorphosis. This is the change. This is the evolution. And kindness. I see magical results that kindness creates. Okay? This is another level of the shadow version. Knowing what it feels like to not have, to go without, to be denied, to be left out, to be abandoned and left on the curb, all of those things. You also can recognize when someone else is going through that process or feeling those ways or needing a hand or whatever, right? Whereas if you're in some delusional bubble where anything you want, you can, okay. I was just gonna be like, we're in a delusional bubble thinking we can manifest everything that we want. No. But the, along the lines of needing the contrast in order to have a better understanding, right? Having gone through pain, having worked really hard for very little, this makes you more compassionate for those who are there. Something like that. Okay. Right? Like, you're somewhere and someone is having a bad day, right? If you're like, what do they got? What's their problem, right? Life is great. Everything's easy. What's their thing? At least they're whatever. And as opposed to looking at them and being like, ooh, there's probably things going on in their life that I have no idea about. Maybe it's hard. Maybe it's this. Maybe they got a disgruntled that. Maybe they're having problems with that. Maybe they're dealing with this. Maybe they're dealing with that, right? Okay, something along those lines. Let's get another card. We'll get a gift from the planets here. for our closing message. That one. Clarify. Clarify. Solar calm. Look at that balance. Okay, it's a 16. The gift. Okay, when the sun is calm with few sunspots or solar flares, its steady energy is quiet and soothes any turbulence in our solar system. This is not what's happening outside right now. The volume is turned down on all the other aspects of your astrological chart. Telescopes see further into space. People tend to search for the metaphysical. Plant growth slows down on Earth, but the arts and creative processes often blossom. Politics tend to be opinionated but quiet, attitudes more entrenched. It's a hard time to start a revolution. Okay, the gift. Meditation helps. Turn down the noise of the outer world and listen with clarity to the knowing within. There's your awareness and reflection. Let go of the details of the story and feel the call to spirit, to connection, and to the interconnectedness of all existence. In this quiet clarity, you can see far away to the distant stars and come to understand the overarching patterns. Beautiful. This is your sun, internal sun, solar chakra, your heart space, calmness, right? In order to reflect, to see from the higher perspective. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Okay. Get a couple charms. And then today we got you making your own wishes come true with your diligence, with your certainty, with your truth speaking, with your precision excavation. Yes, your cutting away, your discernment. There you go. Okay, go with the flow. You don't have to worry. You're protected. You're wise. Okay, the wisdom here and the faith in your transformation, your metamorphosis. Beautiful. Within myself is always awareness and opportunity to make choices that promote personal transformation. Beautiful. We've got the fairy coming out here. Beautiful confirmation. Gratitude through the appreciation of the wonderful things in any given moment or the lessons of experience. I live my life in greater joy. Beautiful. Beautiful. Dope. Okay, and then we've got the dragons. Beautiful. Your dragons are helping to facilitate, to burn away anything that is trying to contaminate your growth, your expansion, your manifestations. We've got another go with the flow. Okay, release your attempts to control and allow, knowing that everything is coming, everything is great. Knowing that even the smallest steps make a difference. I look for changes I can make today. And the wisdom, I listen with patience. My inner voice discovers the truth. Okay. And finally, yes, look at that powerhouse. Okay, you're getting there, and it's gorgeous. So maintain your focus. The harvest season is coming. Okay, trust what you've learned, what you've mastered. Stay kind. Trust the process, the shift, the integration, the balance, right? Yes. Okay. Love and appreciate you. And hope to see you next time. Bye for now.